gospel has been taken off of the airwaves, and I believe that they put Spanish in this place. And I don't see anybody in here that's probably fluent in Spanish. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe that that's helping this community. I don't know what their rationale was for doing so, but at any rate, a year ago, last year, around April, I believe, or early summer, they took gospel off of the airwaves so he could no longer go every day and do his thing. So I believe that hurt him. I believe that and Daddy was the kind that kept things to himself. He was a lot sicker than we knew. He kept it to himself. He was strong and independent and not wanting to have to be at the mercy of anybody else. So he had things going on that we never knew about, but I believe that hurt him and was starting to slow him down a little bit. And I believe that towards the end, his fight was giving out. That was one thing. Then being senior citizen, fixed income type of situation, things weren't just flowing as they used to. And the job at the radio station was a paying job, so that was income that dropped off. So he's fixed income, and I think things were starting to, this is my personal belief of what was going on, that things weren't going so well for him, that he was struggling on this side. So that's why I felt like, well, he hasn't fulfilled purpose yet because things are not so good right now. However, that is not the case. I learned that when he did pass, that he had fulfilled purpose. The minutes later, after he passed, Sister January was in the waiting room, and she came to me and started talking to me about how Brother Jesse had touched her life and touched her family's life and called their names out on the radio, and how she's just so sorry that he's gone and going to be hurting and all of this. And the moment that she started talking, I started realizing he did fulfill purpose. See, I wanted him to get back on the radio. I wanted him to, get his money back straight, how he wanted to be, that kind of thing, and be going. And, Daddy would get in. I don't know how many people saw him on the radio, but he would get in there and play that music and just be patting his foot and going, and got this turntable going and that turntable going when there were turntables. And then his later years, it turned all into computers. He had a 6th grade education, or is it 8th grade? 8th grade education and a GED, but he learned those computers and kept everything going. He would just be on fire, just on fire. Brother Jesse, just on fire. So that was my desire, that he would get back to that level and then pass, then go out, on this high note. But the Lord showed me that he had already fulfilled purpose. I started calling everybody to let them know, calling across the country and different ones just to make sure that people knew. And I called Pastor L.A. Cassie in California, whose church sent a resolution, who was well known in this area. And I told him about the wake service that we had planned to have for Daddy. And I don't know how many of you were there last night, but it was awesome. It was an awesome time of celebration. I know he enjoyed it. But I talked to Pastor Cassie and I said, well, we're planning this wake service, but it's going to be a musical wake. We want quartets to sing and people to sing. And Reverend Cassie said, oh, Jesse would love that. He would love that. And something about in Pastor Cassie's voice when he said that, my spirit caught how much Pastor Cassie loved him and how much he understood him. And every day it's been like that. I talked with Dr. Adolph the other day, and he said, your father was an icon in this area. He said, your father was to this area what Tom Joyner is to the nation. So I start seeing Daddy through the eyes of all of the people whose lives he touched. And I was amazed. It's like I didn't even know him as well as I thought I did. People really loved him. I talked with his play sister, Thomas Assine, and she was saying how, your daddy helped the sick and the well and everybody, because they turn on that radio and they'd hear him and that would give them the strength to go on in their lives. He touched lives, and he did this for over 50 years. Over 50 years. So my little, wanting Daddy to be back on the radio, back on the air kind of thing, that's just silly in comparison, because over that span of the 50 years, he did fulfill purpose. So I want to talk to you all today to find out, are you fulfilling purpose?